All right. I'm just kidding. We're not really going to sit here in a video and watch it for 10 minutes as a countdown happens. Now, that being said, um, welcome on in, everybody. The no idea when you're watching this, but we're doing a quick tutorial. Well, it's going to feel quick to me, but it's probably going to be a rather long video. Um, anyhow, this is going to be a first introduction to Elite Dangerous. The video here is assuming that you've already bought the game and potentially also the Odyssey DLC from either the Steam web store, the Epic Games store, or the Frontier store itself. Um, Links are going to be included in the description below. Steam regularly has sales on Elite, bringing the total price of Elite and Odyssey down to around, I think, 10, 15 bucks from um, 25 to 30. I don't remember the exact prices. Um, but still great sales. Um, that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. So, just loading up the game the first time, you're going to start by seeing this as your screen, or thereabouts as your screen. Um, One thing I'd want you to do before you hit play, yes, you've already installed it, you're already up and running. Before you hit play, come down here, hit versions. You're going to see it's automatically selecting Odyssey. I don't want you to load into Odyssey. Keep that in mind. Don't load into Odyssey at first. Start with Elite Dangerous Horizons. Yes, the live version, but Horizons all the same. We don't want Legacy, don't want Legacy Elite, just Elite Dangerous Horizons. You want the live version of the game, um, but you want to load into Horizons. This will put you through the shipboard tutorial first. You load into Odyssey, first boot of the game, you're going to load into the ground game tutorial, which is not going to let you get your feet wet with the game first. This is still the live version of the game. You'll still have access to all of the new content that comes out, all of the new activities that come out that are allowable by Horizons and that don't require you to be on foot with Odyssey. Whole purpose of going here into Horizons is to get you used to the ships, get you used to how the ships fly, get used to the mechanics of the game itself. Um, because this is a space game with spaceships. You need to know how to fly at some point. Therefore, now that we have it set to Horizons, let's go ahead and log in. Well, you'll have logged in already, but let's go ahead and launch the game itself. Um, all of that said and done. Once it loads up, you will load into, at this point, you'll load into Horizons. It will require you to build a character on first load up. All you'll be doing is putting a face on an avatar, basically. That's really all you're doing at first, putting a face on your avatar. Yes, very pretty screen. Very pretty. Um, what's next here? Oh yeah, here we go. Email, helmet, I set to emergencies only. Complexion, sure, we'll go with preset 1. Want vet, Pale age, we're going way up there. That skin detail, we're gonna go with that. Symmetry, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Scars, we're gonna put one over her right eye. Hair type, we're gonna go with this messy fringe. And we're gonna make it blue. Matching hair. Eyebrows. Make these. Face. We're going to randomize this a couple of times. Randomize the nose a couple of times. Head. Randomize the jawline a couple of times so we get something likable. Accessories and war paint we don't have anything of. We're going to hit continue. Then we're going to hit Thalia Greymantle and confirm. And then we're going to hit start. First thing it's going to load you into at this point is
make yourself comfortable while we finish
the
some preliminary checks.
in-ship tutorial. Here, let me get my
name's
flight
Theo
stick up.
Costa, and I'll be running
We'll
your
be able to
pilot's
fly this here
evaluation.
with you.
Most pilots assigned to me earn their license, so as long as you follow my instructions, you'll be a commander in no time. Oh, and before you ask, I may sound like an Imperial, but I'm actually from an independent system. Today we'll be covering the basics of flight control, combat, and frameshift drive use. This Sidewinder has been installed with a specialized computer that'll take control at certain points. Mostly you'll follow a series of objectives to guide your actions. These are shown in the info panel at the top right of the head-up display. Okay, you're good to go. Select auto-launch from the options ahead of you when you're ready.
Loading gear retrieval.
Ship release confirmed. Auto-launch sequence underway.
The beauty of auto-launch is that you can relax and enjoy the view. One
This
of the
is
ways
true.
that technology allows us to appreciate the good things in life.
And we'll go ahead and hit tab and take a look around.
Other applicants
Because
are departing for
pretty.
their evaluations, but this isn't a race. Each of the coming stages can be completed at your own pace.
Take your time. Everything will be fine. You don't always have to fly this using a HOTAS or keyboard and mouse or on a controller. You can
Remarkable, isn't it?
choose which
For so
pattern
long, humanity
works better
gazed up at the
for you.
stars in wonder. We're not distracted by one of Earth's many wars. And now, we glide between them
Personally,
without a second thought.
my control scheme on my main character floats between
here
main
we are.
profile, floats between
Your first task is to
all
demonstrate
three.
basic ship movements.
Keyboard, mouse,
The ship's trajectory is primarily controlled by pitch, yaw, and roll. Perform each of these now.
Xbox controller, and a HOTAS. Stick and throttle. We're gonna go pitch. Roll.
Good.
Yaw.
Now
Oh, and
increase
it got
your
all
throttle
three.
to
Okay.
accelerate forwards.
Let's throttle up.
Decrease the throttle to resume its
And
stationary
throttle
position.
down.
Your throttle can also be pulled back from zero to engage reverse thrust. As before, push the throttle in the opposite direction to cease moving. Inputs confirmed. Looks like you've got the hang of individual controls. Let's see if you can put them all together. Your next task is to guide your ship through a series of checkpoints. Head towards
Flying
the
through
course,
circle.
following the
Through a
target
loop.
indicator.
Let's go.
The course weaves through an orbital structure and is designed for the novice pilot. Fly through the center of the first checkpoint. You'll notice that they change color as you fly through them. And we're off. There's no time limit, so maintain a comfortable speed while you familiarize yourself with the controls.
Take your time doing this part. It will take some getting used to your first time. I
Rolling and
recommend,
pitching together
personally,
is the most efficient way of turning
running this
rapidly.
a few times, the tutorial a few times. Just to get used to the controls. I will show you where you can find it once you complete it the first time.
It's good practice to consider the angle and speed of your approach. See the blue marker beside the throttle gauge? This indicates the optimum turning speed.
Yes, I'm aware. Right there where my throttle just turned, or where the throttle bar just turned pink on my screen.
You're approaching a particularly sharp turn, so I advise slowing down to prevent any mishaps.
And that is done.
Your ship's boost function greatly increases your speed, but use it wisely.
Biggest reason they say use it wisely is it actually has to recharge the engine capacitor for you to be able to use it.
That's the last checkpoint. The Sidewinder is an agile craft, and you handled it well. A new icon has appeared on the sensor display in the center of your dashboard. This represents a nearby beacon, which you'll soon scan as part of your evaluation. Target the beacon before we continue. You're going to use your ship's data link scanner to analyze the beacon, but you need to deploy hardpoints first. Good. Most external modules are installed on hardpoints, including weapons. Control is back with you. The beacon is relatively small, so you'll need to position yourself close to it. Your target must be within range and lined up in front of you. You can scan the beacon now. Well done. The data link scanner is a versatile tool that connects with network interfaces and various data points. You need to move to another area of this star system to continue your assessment, pilot. Rather than travel for the next year using your thrusters, you can employ the ship's frameshift drive to increase your speed by a few orders of magnitude. As you've already secured your ship by retracting hardpoints, we can proceed. Throttle up and engage Super Cruise.
Well, we are at max throttle, so let's go ahead and
Drive charging.
engage our Super Cruise.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
What Super Cruise is basically what Star Trek considers warp.
All readouts look good. You're now accelerating
And
towards the
hyperspace,
velocity comparative to the speed
which
of
will
light,
be
measured in
gone
Super
over
Cruise is
later in the
navigating
tutorial.
the star system, allowing you to cover significant distances in minutes. Usually you'll retain control in Super Cruise, but on this occasion your ship's computer is following a preset path.
Mhm.
This is a good time to
Hyperspace is more akin,
the cockpit panels available to you.
really, to Star
In the top
Wars,
left of your
Lightspeed.
HUD is the comms panel, which displays pilot communications and contacts across several channels. The top right is your info panel. Entries here mostly
Right up here
relate
by
to your
me.
ship's status, computer messages, and events happening around you.
And we just passed
There we
Lightspeed.
go. Welcome to Lightspeed.
Yes, the travel between places is the part that takes the
Watch
longest.
the distance and speed markers on the dashboard. These are used to help you accurately disengage at your destination. Your next lesson will introduce the basics of combat. Several static and mobile targets will be provided around a decommissioned megaship. We'll also cover some situational information about weaponry and target tracking. And yes, you'll get to shoot those weapons you saw earlier.
Yeah, pew-pews. Lots of pew-pews. But that's why this is also the combat test area, because it will have us shooting at stuff.
Astronomical bodies have a gravitational effect on the FSD, reducing your ship's speed. The closer the body, the greater the effect. The frameship drive is disengaged. Welcome to the combat zone. Before you start shooting, however, try analyzing the megaship with a data link scanner. Well done. It's often worth scanning objects you're unfamiliar with to learn more about them. Next, you need to activate your weapons by cycling to a different fire group. You'll notice that your weapons are now listed on your HUD.
We got a burst laser and a multi-cannon here.
Let's begin the combat evaluation. Destroy several of the canisters. All weapons have an effective range, so you may need to move closer here. Thrusters are particularly useful for navigating around large structures. Why not give them a try? Your cannon will automatically reload until the ammunition supply runs out. Meanwhile, your laser will fire until the capacitor is depleted, at which point it will need to recharge. Try targeting the canister you're aiming at. Quota achieved. Let's dial up the challenge a notch, shall we? An unmanned craft has arrived nearby. These drones are used by the Pilots Federation as target practice, and they're quite harmless. To continue, bring the craft into your sights and open fire. You may have noticed that multi-cannons are effective against unshielded targets. Another craft has arrived. This one is fitted with a shield generator. Helpfully, your burst laser is a thermal weapon, which excels at stripping away a target's shields.
Oops.
Target destroyed.
Didn't mean to go bump.
Consider me impressed. Your final target has dropped into the area. This time your opponent will fight back, but its damage capability has been greatly reduced. Your target will not react until it registers shield damage. Engage when ready.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
That was the last target. Even if you're planning on a
Whee!
peaceful career, understanding the basics of combat is vital for a pilot's long-term survival. For advanced combat information, you should refer to the pilot's handbook, which we'll cover in more detail soon. The next step of your evaluation involves a hyperspace jump to a neighboring star system. On this occasion, your ship's computer has selected your destination for you. We'll cover selecting destinations manually soon. The mass lock indicator on the bottom right of the dashboard is active. This means a large object is in close proximity, preventing you from engaging the FSD. To resolve this, throttle up to move a safe distance away from the megaship. Remember, you can boost to temporarily increase your ship's speed.
Yes, I'm aware.
The mass lock indicator has gone out. When you are ready to travel light years a second, engage the FSD.
Uh-huh. Jump into hyperspace. Oh.
Three, two,
Technology has made the task of leaping between star systems appear trivial. Never let this simplicity distract from the marvel humanity has achieved. Your next stop is Quello Station. This time we'll employ the Supercruise Assist module to guide your approach. Open the external interface panel to your left and select the Navigation tab. Highlight the starport in the location list and then select Supercruise Assist. It's the second option. With the destination selected, throttle up and aim towards your target. The compass to the left of the sensor display will help you orient yourself. Good. Your ship is now bound for Quello Station.
Okay, so biggest thing you're looking at here, we're looking at is what I'm just gonna say, run the tutorial however many times you have to.
Let's take a moment to
Get
review
used to the
interface
basic
panel to the side
controls.
of your chair.
Once you're
The
used to the
external
basic
panel is primarily
controls,
to interact with the
then
galaxy
move on
around you.
forward from
For
that.
example, you can access maps, display contracts, and review nearby objects. Meanwhile, the internal panel displays information about you and your ship. You can adjust module functions, check your records, and access the codex, among other things. New pilots often wonder what their first step into the galaxy should be. The pilot's handbook is a great source of help in this regard. It details a variety of professions and how to outfit your ship for them. The handbook also offers advice on various ship functions that aren't covered in this evaluation. You can find the pilot's handbook in the codex, accessible on the home screen via the internal interface panel. The trails moving around you are FSD wakes. Your ship is also emitting one. The position of each correlates with their respective sensor display icons. In a moment, we'll be going through the docking process. This will cover docking permissions and a standard landing pad approach.
Here in the basic tutorial, they will have you have you dock utilizing a advanced docking computer, which will auto dock you. However, there is the ability at some point to
This is the final stretch.
go
You'll
and
dock here shortly, but I'd like you to position your ship near the starport's access corridor first.
near the access corridor. Got it.
Starports are the backbone of humanity's operations throughout inhabited space. They provide mission boards, the commodities market, a number of specialized contacts, and various ship facilities. Most pilot business is conducted via the Starport Services interface. I recommend familiarizing yourself with this screen when docked. Good. Ease off the throttle and hold position here. Oh, and try not to block the access corridor.
Okay.
We'll be using
Yes,
the
we are
docking
under
computer this time.
4.5
You can always dock
kilometers.
manually in future, of course, but practice in a training simulation first.
I agree with that.
Whichever method you use, all
Training
ships
sims
must
are
seek
worth
docking permission
every
before
penny.
approaching a landing pad. To request docking permission, open your external interface panel and select the Contacts tab. Then select Quello Station
Okay.
in the list.
External
followed by
interface
Request
panel is
docking
this
in the
one over
Installation
here.
panel.
Contacts tab. Hey, there's that. Request docking.
Docking permission authorized. Docking assist has been engaged. You've been assigned landing pad 3. The compass will point towards your designated pad.
Most of the time.
Ships need to be within 7.5 kilometers of a starport for a docking request to be considered.
Yep. That's what I was going to be saying a couple moments ago. What's going on up here? No.
The docking computer will now demonstrate a safe landing procedure. Let's review what it's doing. Landing gear must be deployed. The related dashboard indicator lights up if this has been done.
Landing gear deployed.
And if your landing gear has not been deployed, the computer will yell at you. Or your ship's computer will growl.
The sensor display will switch to the precision approach
The
display, which
station's
helps you accurately set
traffic
bearing down
controller
on the landing
will
pad.
growl at you.
Docking procedure complete. Engaging pad restraints. Let's get your ship ready. Congratulations, Commander. Your evaluation has been successful, and a license is being assigned to you as I speak. We just need to finalize your credentials. Enter the hangar to exit this evaluation.
Which will be utilizing this control here. This one is restock. Reloads all of the armament on your ship. Anything expendable except engineering materials and cargo. Repair repairs hull and module damage. Does not take structural integrity, which is reduced by various different things. Refuel. That one's obvious. It fills your fuel tank.
It's time to
Let's
blaze
go
your
ahead.
own trail across the galaxy. The manner in which you do so is up to you.
Okay, most of you won't have access to any of these pre-builts, given that you're probably loading into the game for the first time and not having spent any extra money at the Frontier store for ARX, which is the premium currency for the game. Therefore, we're just going to go ahead and grab this one here and call it at that. This will let you have access to pretty much everything that the game has to offer. We're going to call this ship the Wanderer. Tal 01. And call it good. Honestly, it's been forever and a half since I flew a
Incoming
Sidewinder
mission-critical message.
for any purpose other than a gimmick. Okay, we got a message in. So let's go take a look at the comms panel. Complimentary gift. Hey, we got a Sidewinder paint job. And we will take it. Now, we're at a ground port right now. Which is going to be different interaction entirely than leaving a regular starport. But that is actually something I can cover in the next video. So, fly safe out there, Commanders. I hope this helps, at least some. The Sidewinder you get here is going to be equipped with everything that you need for ground, or for doing anything on the ground. However, one thing you should need to put on it, at least I recommend putting on it, so you can have freedom to go wherever. Grab this empty internal compartment slot. At this starport, we have access to fuel scoops. Stick a fuel scoop on it. Fuel scoop is a way to take your ship into the corona of a main sequence star. That is a class O, A, B, K, G, or M. I believe that's all the main sequence stars. And gain fuel, or recover fuel. Fill your fuel tank off of a star, as opposed to spending credits on it. Excellent thing to do for a new player. So that way you are not having to spend fuel, or spend credits on fuel unless you absolutely need to. For explorers, a fuel scoop is absolutely necessary. So, next video we will cover more. But, all in all, y'all have a good night, good day, good evening, good week, however you want to put it, and I will catch you next week for another video. Fly safe, everyone.